I have a great idea. It is called No Child Left Behind.
Oh, really? How does it work?
Well, we use a norm reference test, as in a test in which no matter the circumstances, someone will fail. And then we set up a determined date in which all 50 states have to have 100% of students meet or exceeding standards in math and science.
Was this a bill that both the Democrats and Republicans worked on?
I'm a uniter, not a divider. That means when it comes time to sew up your chest cavity, we use stitches as opposed to opening it up.
Great idea you got there, W. I do see some problems with this though. Wouldn't other subjects such as science and social studies lag behind?
My social studies skills are just fine. I was born in America, unlike you, Barack.
Are we down to mudslinging? Retirement is treating you well. I prefer my Race to the Top initiative. It is much more noble to help out the bottom 5% of schools rather than all schools.
In your model there is a lack of accountability. Without accountability, schools will fall behind those in India and China. How do you propose setting a standard for achievement in all schools?
I will use more high-stakes tests to receive more information to better evaluate schools. In addition to this, I will create better means of evaluating teachers.
So are you just going to add this to the money that is a part of the huge deficit? How will you pay for this?
There is always enough money for our children's education. We'll just take it out of the healthcare bill.
Hear that, Barack? That's the sound of the American economy dying. Are you ready to live under the red flag?
W, you're telling me that you had no part in this? Why don't you go back to your ranch and worship Reagan? I'll admit you are right. Using norm reference tests is the easiest solution to a lack of accountability in schools. Maybe quick fixes are not the best.
How much innovation can the American tax dollars provide for? It is time to evaluate the American tax dollars and look at what works and what doesn't work. No Child Left Behind is a failure. I'll admit that now. But what are you going to do to fix my mistake I made 2.5 minutes ago?
Once again, Race to the Top is a reward to schools who are willing to innovate and do what is best for the future of America. We are winning the future. This is our Sputnik moment. These ideals will better prepare the youths of America in the current and coming job market. I will not punish the schools for the inequalities made by your forefathers.
The punishment is not so terrible. It's not like dropping a nuclear bomb on the American school system. The government is just eliminating those schools and teachers that are incapable of achieving the goals set forth by both the state and federal government.
The American schools are not a business. Bringing an accountability model to education will only lead to the privatization of education.
How about homeschool education then?
In home schools, it is easy for the parents to fake scores on tests so that it appears that the students are proficient, but this is not helpful for the children. We have to ensure children are learning.
Rarely is the question asked, is our children learning? Privatization will focus on what is really important, is children learning, and those schools that are the best at teaching children will be the ones that succeed.
Well, no shit, Sherlock. Your logic is flawed. Education is more like acquiring a skill, not a car sale at a dealership. Privatized schools will focus on making money rather than teaching the children. Do you think children will still learn in this situation?
They will learn what is exactly on the tests, just like with the AP exams. The material on the tests is what should be taught.
Curriculum is the most important part of education. It is impossible to condense a year-long class down to a 3 to 4 hour exam. The focus on education should be what is learned, know how it can be tested.
I think we should just agree to disagree, Barack.
Well, at least I'm not from Texas.